Smart Sound.
Welcome back to the Daily Whap Recap News at 8. Today, our top story is the North American Revolution.
This revolution is more of a political movement to preserve colonial liberties in a more egalitarian society.
British colonists feel their views were not represented in Parliament, and they believe that if they are seen as less than citizens already, then they may as well secede.
Let's go to Bill at the scene.
Good morning, America. It's Bill. Today we're at Carpenter's Hall in Philadelphia, where the Second Continental Congress is meeting for the very first time. The First Continental Congress meant to send a delegation to Britain, explaining the atrocities being enforced upon the colonists, but they were overlooked, as usual. So colonists are advocating for independence. Each colony is represented except for Georgia. Just outside is Samuel Seabury, who was handing out pamphlets concerning his thoughts on the Continental Congress. And the famous George Washington is just inside these doors, stating that the colonists have declared independence. You, ma'am, how do you feel about the proceedings of the Continental Congress?
My name is Martha Canterbury. I personally agree with Washington's decisions to secede because with Britain's incessant taxation, I can barely afford to feed little Gertrude and the rest of my family.
That is truly a sad story.
Yeah.
Thank you. Back to you, Paula.
Thank you, Bill. Our next story is about the French Revolution. Cheryl?
Yes, Paula, this revolution is a bloody one. Brenda is at Versailles now at the scene.
The French government is facing extreme bankruptcy and its poor citizens are living ration to ration. The estates met to discuss the state of the nation and the social conflicts French citizens were facing. And then the Third Estate locked themselves in one of the royal tennis courts until they were declared the National Assembly. We're here interviewing Robespierre about the events transpiring.
Thank you. Bonjour, je m'appelle Robespierre. I am the leader of this revolution, and I feel that all enemies of the revolution should be guillotined on spot. I also believe that France needs a new start, a new beginning, so that we will rise from these inequalities that exist today. Thank you.
Anyway, continuing with our story, it seems that the housewives of France have begun to protest themselves while their husbands are working. And now what is called the March on Versailles, armed women spurred by their resentment of the upper class are planning to ransack Versailles. This truly is a terrifying sight.
Smart Sound.
Breaking news! Apparently, the studio has just gotten word of another revolution. Toussaint Louverture is leading a massive slave rebellion in Saint-Domingue.
That's right, Paula. It seems that the poorest citizens in the richest colony in the world have begun a rebellion in a violent and radical revolution. And the most surprising part, the slaves are winning.
Their goal is to gain equality for all races and spread social conservatism. If they can pull this off, this will be their first successful slave revolt in the history of the world. It seems the Haitians are making history. And now our next story. All around the world, there is a new movement erupting. Some are calling it a revolution of technology and industrialization. Let's go to Cheryl, who is currently observing this movement in London.
Hi Paula, we're here in London right now and you can smell the industrialization in the air. Or maybe that's the cold. But anyway, people in Europe are producing goods with more efficiency here. We're here with Genevieve, who is discussing how the Industrial Revolution has changed her life.
Hello, Cheryl. My name is Genevieve, and because of the Industrial Revolution, our family is now financially stable. The upper class has declined, thus creating a stable middle class. Now my husband can support our family on one salary, and I do not have to work anymore.
Thank you. That is truly inspiring. As you can see, the great acceleration in technology, which has led to an increased output of goods here in Europe, has just led to all amazing inventions, and look at everything. What an amazing story.
The Industrial Revolution has helped Europe greatly, but I have a brother in the Americas who is much better off than I.
Wow, let's go talk to him. So we're here in America with Genevieve's brother.
Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, I am Genevieve's brother, and here in America, the industrialization revolution has made some of us more prosperous than ever before. After the Civil War, our government focus has been on highly encouraged industry, so American life is filled with advertising, catalogs, and department stores. There are some poor citizens protesting labor, though, due to the constant labor of the poor or working class. Thank you.
All right, and there you have it. We'll see you after the break. Have you ever some family in another country? Well, now you can. With the steam train. Woo.
Cam, go.
Thanks to the steam train, it's more cost efficient to transport people and goods around the world. Buy yours today.
And we're back with a segment on colonial empires. European countries begin to build imperial empires through conquest in Asia and Africa. Their militaries use rifles and machine guns to overpower local tribes in Africa and the Pacific Islands. Or they use interaction with trade to gain power in India and Indonesia.
That's right, Paula. This scramble for Africa and other unclaimed territories have imposed European rule across the world. In most cases, there is a limited European education offered to the colonists, so there is a sort of racial divide between the rulers and the world.
This created an us versus them mentality in these new colonies. It seems that the only two areas of Africa that have avoided European imperialism are Liberia and Ethiopia.
We have an exclusive look at the Berlin Conference coming up, where leaders of European nations decided for themselves who would rule which colony.
England would like Egypt.
L'Italia voleva Somalia.
Deutschland via Egypt Holken.
La France voudrait Afrique de l'Ouest.
Thank you.
Merci
Banco.
Grazie.
for watching the
Daily
Whap
Whap
Recap News at 8 o'clock.
Smart Sound.
And their poorer citizens are living ration to ration.
Revolution, and I feel that all enemies of the revolution should be guillotined on spot.
Trying to get the gold coin. Our scripts are in the water. Chaos has happened.